Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating nature-inspired watercolours in my studio, which are easy for you to do too. I share all my paintings with you on YouTube, and on our website dianeantone.com you can find free downloadable sketches for all the videos to help you make the most of your painting journey. And if you'd like a little bit more, we also have channel memberships with loads of perks for you to enjoy. So welcome on board. Click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolour. Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. Diane here. I hope everyone's well and enjoying their weekend, or whatever day of the week it happens to be. Today, after a great deal of deliberation, as usual, it's going to be the Sunday painting, and I finally decided, having rejected a few other ideas which I'll come back to some other time, I've just decided that we're going to do a simple semi-abstract to relax to. A lot of people this week have told me stories about some sadnesses that they're having in their lives, and we've also had a couple ourselves, as usual. It happens a lot. So, you know, paint our way out of the doldrums. We don't want to have to concentrate too hard on what we're doing, so I thought we would do this. This is something, I did this one a little while ago and I never got around to making a video of it, so now I'm going to do it. And guess what? It's really easy because you only need two colours and one brush and one piece of paper. This is a piece of Fabriano paper, 50-50 I think they call it, or 5 or something like that. It's got a kind of little bit of a texture of linen about it, which is quite nice. And I've got a scrap of it here, which I cut specially so that I can test my colours, because I'm going to mix these two. Here I've got a Meeden palette. I heartily recommend the Meeden palettes. They're solid, ceramic, lovely, don't move on the table, on your art table. They're easy to clean, they don't stain like plastic, and they don't bead when you try to mix colours. So it's worth investing. They're not very expensive, and if you go to our Meeden link, you get an extra 10% off. So visit our website at dianeantone.com if you feel like it, and we've got a page there with some links on it, and you can follow that through to the Meeden website and get your products from there. And I'm going to be using their paints as well, because they kindly supplied me with them, and why wouldn't I, because they're very good. This is yellow ochre and this is rose, and those two colours together is what we're going to use. I might use a little bit of this paint as well. This is gold, various different golds, and it's made by Coliro. It's this one. You can get this from Amazon. It's not very expensive. You might as well get it now so you've got it for Christmas, because we'll use a lot of it as Christmas comes around and we start doing Christmas cards and things like that. The other thing I'm going to be using is these Winsor & Newton sepia pens. I've got 3 here. I seem to have lost the fattest one. They come in a set of 4 or 5, I think. Yes, I've got the 0.1, the 0.3 and the 0.5 here. Somewhere the others are lurking, but I don't know where. But never mind, 3 pens is more than enough. If you haven't got that, you could use a brown pencil. I might use a little bit of this, which is a Carbothello pencil shaped pastel. So there's pastel inside the wooden casing, which is quite nice. That could look good too. Don't think I used anything else. Didn't use any white. Oh yes, gold. I did use not only this, but also this, which is a Uniball Signo gold pen. And so there we are. Now, this is going to be an interesting painting. The idea of this is to not try too hard and to relax and to be, what's the word? Chill, man, chill. I'm looking for my brush, sorry, lost my thread, can't find my brush, doesn't matter which one I use because I'm not going to be looking for points. So this is a Pro Art, this is an English one. This is a Proline by, this is also a Pro Art. Something on the big side I would use. This is a 12. I'm actually looking for my, oh, I know where it is. Hang on, it's here. This is my Princeton Aqua Elite. I do like this brush, but it's very pointed and very good for pointed leaves and for drawing fine things like the fronds that we did on the palm tree the other day. But probably I don't need that for this, so probably a fat one like this with no point to speak of would be better because I don't want it to be accurate. So I want to make sure you can see the whole of this. I've taped it down onto a piece of plastic board to keep it flat. And I'm just going to pick up some water, pick up a little bit of rose and mix it with a little bit of, oh, here comes the rain. A little bit of yellow ochre. And it's good to have all these because although I've only got two colours, I'm going to want to mix different intensities, you know. So we can do that. Different intensities. Don't want it too dark. Maybe I'll start with the ochre. Maybe I'll put a little bit more water in there. And I don't have anything much in mind, but I'm going to sort of follow the what I did before. And you know, I'm not the kind of person who's precious about this. This is scribbling in paint, right? It's nothing more or less. And so I'm going to pick up a little bit more pink. We'll keep the pink on this side and the ochre on that side. And so put a little bit more there, make that a little bit less. There's no rules here. No rules at all. Just do whatever happens to come to mind today. And pretend it's not raining. Again. I don't know. Leave lots of gaps. That's one thing I would suggest. Just leave lots of gaps and make sure it's nice and pale in places. And let it run. So we just work our way down the page, and now the hailstorm has stopped. That was hail, by the way. And we're just sploshing these different pinks in. Doesn't make any difference what you do. Could have some nice bright contrasting with the lighter colours. And like I say, let it run. Leave some lights. Maybe we'll have a bit more of the beige down here. Okay, so I think that's probably enough. Sort of just washing out the edges here, don't too many hard edges. And it's probably not a bad idea. I'm not an expert with this kind of painting, but I am an expert in painting in general. And I think it's probably a good idea to sort of wash it out a little bit to the sides, because when it's dry, I don't know. I mean, this is what I would do anyway. What other people do is up to them. But yeah, I do want to leave some nice light spaces. So what I'm going to do now is I'm quickly going to dry that. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my Princeton, my size 12 Princeton with its lovely sharp point. And I'm just going to pick up some gold from the set of gold that I've got here and mix it with a little bit of the rose. So you could say that would create rose gold. And test that out on my sheet there, which I quite like. And I'm going to sit down and hope that I don't alter the sound too much. And I'm just going to put in a nice branch, and have done something like this before, but I don't see any harm in doing it again because it's a great, pleasing pleasant, pleasurable, productive. I don't know, it's just nice. The paper is lovely and smooth. The brush has got a lovely point. It holds a lot of paint. You don't have to keep on picking up more paint. It's just very aesthetically pleasing. I don't know what to talk about today. I probably should try and think of something cheerful. My husband's coming back from Egypt tomorrow. He's been away on business. And so we're off to the airport first thing in the morning to pick him up. There we are. That's the first branch on here. And I'm thinking I might need to use one other colour, so like sepia or something like that, for parts of this painting. So, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going into the, what do you call it? Yellow ochre. I'm mixing a little bit of rose with that to give me a nice rusty colour. I probably ought to rinse out my brush, but I'm not going to. And then I'm going to put some more leaves down here. Yeah, so he's flying in from Cairo tomorrow, so that'll change the mood round here once he's back. Let's hope he is feeling well and happy to be back. It's temperature's up near to 50 in Egypt at the moment, so he decided he'd have to cut it short because he was supposed to be away till October, but he's cut it short and he's coming back. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black and I'm going to just see what happens if I mix this black with the yellow ochre, because I want a nice dark brown. Let's put a little bit of rose in with it. Let's see what we've got there. Well, that's a dark brown, isn't it? I think I could consider that to be brown. So, because what I wanted to do was to come in with a darker colour. The centres of the leaves. Like that. Good, okay, and then up here, I think I'm going to do something like this. Using the point of the brush. Just something. Is that dry? And say something about the size of paper. If you paint always on small pieces of paper, smaller than this, you will find that your chances of improving your looseness will be limited, because obviously you can't get as much wrist action going on. If you've got a very small piece of paper, you're less likely to feel inspired to do something unusual. And in general, I would suggest, even if you don't fill the whole piece of paper, it's a good idea to use a bigger piece of paper if you possibly can. This is, what size is this? It's bigger than A4, bigger than 8 by 11. It is a quarter of a sheet, I think. I'll just measure it for you. 9 by 13, is it? Yeah, 9 by 13, 13 and a half. Yeah, it is true painting on paper that's too small. I mean, obviously, if you're only doing a card or something, you don't want to paint it on a big piece of paper and waste all the outside edges, really. Although if you did do a big one and you wanted to make a card, you could always cut it up. But then that's not always appropriate for the subject that you have, that you've done. And let me see, what shall I do now? On a previous one which I prepared earlier, I did put some spirals, and I think I'm going to do that. I've just literally rinsed the brush out, so I've only got a touch of paint in there, just mostly water. And I'm going to just do some spirals up here. They'll dry a little bit lighter. And maybe we could use the same colour to just do some shapes over what we've just painted. Don't try to construct anything particular. Some shapes, and then afterwards we'll do some doodles into those shapes. Maybe we'll have one coming down from the top here. Kind of makes the whole thing sort of hang together, because we didn't do a background, did we? Only a partial background. And keep these pieces sort of neutral. It's all experimentation. I have no idea. I had no idea this is what I was going to do when I started. I can't plan things in advance. I'm not very good at that. Okay, now that needs to be dried. So I think if I was to put any more leaves on there, it would look wrong. But yet I feel as if there's a bit of a gap here. So what I'm thinking I might do is just literally to paint some gold lines, make them erratic and varied, some thick and some thin, to fill the space and to basically look nice. And then we might pretend that we've got some gold berries or something down here. This is what I always have a tendency to call this deconstructed art, because all the elements are just lying around all over the place. I'm going to try some black with gold and see what that does. I think that might be quite interesting. I am not a great believer in overbuying things, and so you won't find me recommending a huge number of products, because I think you can often make do with what you have. But my painting became more interesting for me when I added these gold paints, and I think I would heartily recommend, if you haven't got any, get a set of either the Kuretake Starry colours are very good, and this Kaleri, I can never remember the name of them, is also good. So a few dots never did anyone any harm, and I quite like the effect of the black mixed with the gold. That's a good thing. I think maybe I might need to do a little bit of calligraphy with a pen. So I'm just going to put some dark there next to the gold. See how that works. And clean my brush. I don't think I'm going to do a great deal more to this now. Let's try the fattest of the sepia pens is the 0.5. That's what I've got at the moment. I'm not sure if that's going to be good enough. Yeah, that's all right. So we'll just go around the outsides of these leaves, I think. I was talking the other day, I'm going to ask everybody who's listening at the moment a favour. When you finished watching this video, if you could just make a comment in the comments box below, that would be wonderful. Just so that YouTube knows that you watched the video and enjoyed it. And they apparently, someone told me this this morning, I found this out, that it's best if the comment has at least 5 words. Otherwise, they think you're a bot. Well, they might do. Yes. So that would be wonderful, because that really helps the channel to be seen. The more they're really driving for what they call engagement now. Once upon a time, it was views, and then it was subscribers, and now it's what they call engagement, which means how much I can persuade you to like, to comment, and to also join in conversations. If somebody says something in a comment and you see it and you think, oh, that's interesting, I can contribute to that. Please do. You know, if someone asks a question, where can I get so-and-so, or how do you do such and such? Don't think that you can't jump in, because you can. I'm only too happy for people to jump in and help out with answering people's questions. And I'm going to use the gold pen now to just fill in the centres of these stringy leaves here a little bit. Make them look a little bit more solid. This is not going to be a great work of art. It won't be hanging in the National Gallery when I'm dead, but it will have given me some peace today on this very strange haily day. The weather is absolutely bizarre out there. It's really windy. It's about 16 degrees, no, about 60 Fahrenheit, and quite cold for July. Of course, you know what the reason is for that. There's a pop concert on in Carré this weekend, so there's all these youngsters there camping out, listening to music, and so they're all going to go home with double pneumonia, because it will have been an incredibly unpleasant weekend. I expect a lot of them have already left in disgust. I'm just putting some lines on these leaves to give them a bit more. You know, when this painting is done, when these paintings are done like this, you don't notice all these extra lines and things, do you? You don't notice them, but you notice the overall effect. So, for example, if I was to put a whole bunch of little dots here, and another piece of news to share with you from Patreon. I did put this on Facebook today, so you may have seen it there, but they've decided to offer free memberships. They're not really real memberships, they're sort of partial memberships. And if you join as one of these on the free basis, you can be a member, a free member. It's like being a follower. But you can see, you get emails from us telling you what we've put up, and you can see some of the posts, most of them actually. But it gives you a sense of what it's like to be a supporter on Patreon, because Patreon's really there for people to use as a way of supporting us in our endeavours to spread art more widely. So if you can't afford to be a member, and that's totally fine, please do join as a free member, and you'll see quite a lot of things, and it'll give you a sense of whether or not it's worth the $2 a month to be a member. for which you get to be in the private Facebook group if you want, and various other things come your way. I'm just putting some dots on these leaves to make them a bit more elaborate. And maybe I'll just put some gold down the stem for no reason other than I just like using this pen. So when you finish watching this, leave us a comment. And if you want any of the materials, everything's described in the description underneath the video. And I think probably we might be getting there. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to turn this off, have a good look, and come back and tell you whether or not it's finished. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more of this black mixed with gold, and I'm just going to enhance some of these leaves just a little bit down the side, just to make them stand out a little bit better. Because I think the sepia pen isn't quite strong enough really to give me the effect I wanted. And had I been feeling really bold and brave, I would have used my Tombow pen and just whacked in with, you know, how I usually do with the dark lines. But I wanted to do something a little bit more delicate and I don't know, a little bit more delicate, not a lot. Wouldn't be my thing, would it? And sort of make these leaves on this side a little bit darker, show the gold off a little bit better, perhaps. We're all different in what we like, and aren't we? And you know, myself personally, my taste is for things to be really super loose. This is something I discovered over the years, and I've also discovered that it's okay to prefer things a certain way. No one's going to stop me or anything. Well, not really anyway. So there's that. And what else was I going to do? What else was I? Was I going to do anything else? I think I probably felt that I could finish off these leaves a little bit better. Give them another. But all of this is just sort of fiddling around, playing. Maybe we might want to make one go behind the other. Like that, to give a little bit of depth. Maybe we don't. Perhaps we want to keep it nice and clean. Perhaps we'll put another one here. But really, this is just trivia. So I think I'm probably going to stop now and leave it there. Remind you to leave a comment underneath if you wouldn't mind. That would be great. See, I can't resist it. I have to keep going. Visit the website, dianeantone.com, please, and download some sketches, leave us a tip, and I will let you go in peace for the rest of your Sunday. So I enjoyed that anyway. I hope you did. Let me know, and I'll see you again soon. So bye, everybody. Bye-bye.